Hey everybody, it's Appalachian Navy again. I am here with Gala.
Mm-hmm.
What's this area called?
Burnsville?
Burnsville, but we're on
Bowlins Creek
Creek Road off of Pensacola. This is actually my first time being in this area, and I was contacted by some people that Gala is needing help. And if you would you tell us a little bit about what happened to your house, a little bit of your story?
Okay. So right up here is our landslide. The debris hit my house and went into my neighbors' properties below. Mud, filled people's garages, caused lots of damage, injured people. But this is what it did to my house. Over behind us.
So your house was actually
It was
back over here.
It was over here somewhere.
Shifted about 50 feet or more.
And now it's sitting in the front yard that sloped down and the driveway and into part of the easement.
So your house was about, just so they can see, was about where that oil tank is, and it shifted about 50 feet to where it is now.
And pivoted a little because it was facing front on with the cow pasture. Now it's kind of facing a different direction.
And where were you at in the house?
I was near the front door on the other side of the house.
So so when I guess that tree, amongst other stuff, hit your house, it obviously knocked you to the floor.
Actually, I knew something was fixing to happen, so I threw myself in the floor and curled up to cover my head and get as small as possible. And then I heard a really loud snap, like a board snap, but it was really loud. It was either the wall being knocked down that I heard, or trees hitting and knocking the wall down. And then it just was very loud. I knew I was moving, but it just kind of felt like I was being shaken. And then when it stopped, I was no longer in my little ball with my head facing the door. I was laying with my head facing the opposite direction, laying on my side, and I looked up and my kitchen table was over me, which had previously been several feet away from me on the far wall, and my legs were there was a high table, my legs were in one of the chairs. I have no idea how that happened. I don't remember being turned around and getting in a chair that was previously up ahead of me. And then I was stuck in the chair, couldn't get out. I realized there was a couch or a big heavy chair behind me. I couldn't push it. I couldn't move the table because all the attic boards and the wall boards and the ceiling were on that table. I couldn't push it. And in my reach was a piece of tree. And I thought, oh, how'd a piece of tree get in here? But I used it as a lever, and it took quite a few attempts of me giving up and saying, oh, somebody will come get me. And then I thought, maybe they won't, and maybe there's going to be more trees hitting this house. I got to get out of here. I gave up a couple of times, and then the second time I gave up, I felt some very cold water on my rear quarters, and I lifted up to see what was going on, and orange water was rising, and I was like, I don't want to drown. So I got going again with my lever, and got out, and had crawled uphill. I was uphill and got out through this end of the house. I came over that bed and got on that tree there, and some neighbors came after it was over, sometime afternoon. Some neighbors came and found me sitting there.
So how long was it before the first help came, like fire department or anything like that?
Oh. Well,
or any kind of aid?
The neighbors were there immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seemed it was about noon when the clouds started parting, and that's I couldn't hear anybody because the creek was so loud and so big, but apparently there was a lot of people out here. I just didn't know it. And in fact, they told me they were yelling, beating on my front windows, yelling to see if somebody was in the house, but I didn't hear them. And they walked around the corner and found me. But the neighbors were out immediately on their ATVs and with their tractors, helping people, looking for people. And that's all we saw for a while. And the volunteer fire department people that are in Pensacola.
Okay. So the other thing we were going to talk about is, so what's been your situation with Foxtrot, Echo, Mike, Alpha, and your insurance? So
I was first able to get a cell signal the 1st of October, I think, and I put my application in that day. It's now the 23rd December.
Mhm.
I've been denied 6 times maybe so far. I just keep going in and editing. I go in face to face, help me with this. I'm not doing something wrong, and edit it, and then I get my next denial letter. But insurance within that first week, they said you have to attach your denial letter from your insurance as part of the process. And I did that within that first week and got my denial letter. They told me nothing was covered because it was a flood. And I said, well, I wasn't in a flood. I was hit by a tree. Trees took my house down, or maybe mud took my house down, and they said, well, the trees came down and the mud came down because of rain, therefore it's a flood. So my last rejection from my application says I'm denied because my insurance is going to pay the total thing. Well, no.
They're not.
No, I've attached the denial letter, so it's just been real frustrating. I just need to get to the right person to help me do the application correctly, however that is.
So what kind of help are you need? Are you needing legal help, or?
Well, at this point, I think so, and then I heard there's a deadline coming up, and that's making me even more nervous. And that might be accurate. It might not be.
I heard there is a January deadline for FEMA. I don't know if it's just an initial submission, or if you've obviously got a process started. So I don't know if that includes you, but I would definitely make sure that you're okay. I guess if there's anyone that knows of a legal avenue that we can help her, if you could reach out to me about that, I would get the information to her. We have, I told you earlier, we have contacted the congressman's office and state representatives, so hopefully they'll be here. They'll reach out to you soon, and we'll get some help coming.
Another concern that my neighbors have, because they were greatly affected by this, is we don't know the stability of our landslide, and
well, it doesn't look.
We need an expert
stable
to check it out and tell us, something.
Has there been a geologist up here?
No.
So there is a geologist I've seen on YouTube that he's been all over the place mapping.
Geo models or something?
I think so. He's got like this thermal scan of all these landslide areas.
He's really good.
That's what we need.
We need to look into contacting him.
Yeah, everybody needs some peace of mind, and if it's not stable, what can we do, and how do we do that? The state owns the property up at the top. My neighbor behind me owns a section of it, and then I was this side of the forest.
So was there somebody else that lived up there?
No one lives there, but they had a barn. There's another landslide over there.
Okay.
And it took his barn out.
Okay. So that landslide went from up there and then it went all the way down across the road into the river down there.
And it looked like some of the trees had been moved around and cut up a bit, but it came down in fork. So it went this way and then it came around. It did a little wide.
So instead of the full force,
Yeah, it came down and it kind of branched into this
Her house
line.
diverted the thing and kind of helped some other people. John's place, he thought it would hit his house, and so did Kyle, except it got diverted. If it wasn't diverted, it had probably gone right across several other people's houses.
And they said when the land came up, it uncovered 2 or 3 springs that were previously underground. And I think they're still trickling, the springs.
well, I
So,
imagine they are.
you know, do we need to divert that water? Do we need a culvert? You know, what do we need?
Okay, well,
What she needs now is Yancey County, whatever people to come out, how to get this house moved and cleaned up so it doesn't fall on the road, other issues like that. You know, somebody in charge needs to come out and evaluate this, whether it's county, city, whatever, or just some help, somebody, excavators that can come and donate a truck or whatever, just start removing trees so she can get that so it doesn't fall on the road. That's my thoughts.
all right, everybody. So if you have any suggestions, or if you think you know anyone that could help, just email me. My email's in the description as usual. Thank you.